Welcome back. In a surprising turn of events, Bill Cosby right there is at home in his mansion. He's a free man. That conviction for sexually assaulting a woman, well, it's overturned. That was back in 2004. Andrea Constant, suddenly overturned by Pennsylvania State Supreme Court. They ruled Cosby did not receive a fair trial because the evidence that was used against him, but more importantly, they said he should have never been tried in the first place. It should have never taken place. Let's get into this. Our justice correspondent, Candace Kelley, is with us. Good morning, Candace.
And, good morning.
You know, I want you to, good morning, to you, we need you, okay, because people are all over the place. But it's not just about the evidence, it's about, it should have never taken place, right? Because Bill Cosby, the court said, Supreme Court, had a deal. And whether we like it or not, prosecutors have discretion and they do this all the time, right? You told us that.
Absolutely. Listen, a deal is a deal. And like you said, Sharon, whether you like it or not, and a lot of people don't like it, this was the deal that was on the table, a non-prosecution agreement. We are not going to prosecute you if you give a deposition for the civil case, right? So the civil case, you just give up money. Criminal case, you go behind bars. We won't even threaten you with going behind bars. Give us your deposition for the civil case. You'll be okay. No one will ever hear of it. Well, that didn't happen. And this is why the Pennsylvania Supreme Court said, wait a minute, this was a deal, even though it wasn't written out the way that it should have been written, it was a deal that was broken. So because of this, this should have never happened in terms of the trial. None of it should have even taken place. And in fact, he had a Fifth Amendment right to, to not self-incriminate himself. And because of this, all the information was revealed, and he was not able to hold his Fifth Amendment right. That privilege was taken away. So that's what went on here. A deal is a deal, as you said, Sharon. A deal is a deal.
So, Candace, who's to blame here? Is it Bruce Castor, the man who gave him that deal? Is it the follow-up district attorney who went on to prosecute him despite that deal? Was it the judge who allowed this evidence to even come into play when it shouldn't have been in play in the first place? Who's to ultimately blame here?
Ultimately, you've got Bruce Castor. He was the one who put this deal in place, which is a strange deal. There aren't people who come through the justice system and get this deal offered to them because, number one, he did the deal. Number two, he didn't do it properly in terms of putting it in writing, putting it in a place where somebody could see it and follow it. But of course, as you said, the next DA that came along didn't do his due diligence to figure out what was going on and went ahead and moved on in spite of what he probably knew. Because Bruce Castor did in fact say, actually, this was the deal that was on the table, even though it wasn't in writing. This was a deal that he acknowledged. So there were problems all along the way, but the first problem starts with the DA, the former DA, Bruce Castor, and that's where the origin of this begins.
But Candace, how about the judge? I mean, one of the things I've noticed, we've been following trials, and we did Derek Chauvin trial. The judge has discretion on a lot of things that is allowed and isn't allowed with these movements. Even Cosby's defense attorney, why was this testimony even allowed into play in the criminal charge back in 2018?
Yeah, and that's a question that only they can answer. But here's what happens. As you go through the court system, your attorney is going to fight as zealously as he or she can in order to make your case be heard. Why? Because one of the other issues that was a part of this case and that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court had trouble with is all of the people the 5 women who actually testified and gave a history of his character. That was a problem too. So, these judges are quirky. These courts are quirky depending upon what jurisdiction you're in, depending upon what judge you are in. It doesn't mean that they're always wrong or right, but in this situation, they were wrong. The decision that was made was wrong because they're not always right, and they got caught out there. And this is why Bill Cosby is at home in his mansion today in Pennsylvania.
Candace, there is a legal innocence. Mike likes exoneration. I'll take that too. And then there's the court of public opinion, and then there's, what we can see and hear over the years from Bill Cosby and that deposition we perhaps should have never gotten our hands on, right? But when you talk about the conviction that now is overturned, Speak to the legal innocence aspect of it, because if those other women were not ever supposed to testify about character in Cosby's case, and the deposition should have never come in, can he claim that he is innocent?
And that is the sticking point. There was no claim of, well, he's claiming he's innocent, but legally speaking, this is not what the Pennsylvania Supreme Court was saying. They're just saying constitutionally he was wrong. His right to have a fair trial did not happen. They didn't say anything about his innocence or his guilt. Now, of course, Bill Cosby over the years has said that he is innocent. This is why he didn't go to his classes. This is why he didn't do what he was supposed to do in jail as a sexual predator. I'm innocent. He even said that recently. But legally, he is on record as having done nothing. In the court of public opinion, that might be otherwise. But legally speaking, he's done nothing. It is as if this never happened. He doesn't even have to register as a sexual offender, predator, anything. He's the Bill Cosby that we knew before 2018 in terms of his level of guilt or innocence. Same 2018 before he's convicted. That's the same person that we're looking at now in terms of how the law sees him.
And again, Candace, the overturned conviction only had to do with the overturned conviction had to deal with one accuser, Andrea Constant. What about the others? You know, we hear about 63 women and others and statute of limitations. What is next for Bill Cosby? Because the high court in Pennsylvania spoke to that as well. Was it just with her?
Well, in terms of this particular case, this is the end of the road. He can't be tried. Of course, he can appeal to the Supreme Court. Doubt the Supreme Court will pick that up. But here is what the Pennsylvania Supreme Court said in part. The impact of the due process violation here is vast. The remedy must match the impact. He must be discharged. And any future prosecution on these particular charges must be barred. We do not dispute that this remedy is both severe and rare, but it is warranted here, indeed compelled. So there, in this case, we're hearing with Andrea Constant, nothing can happen. With the other women that you mentioned, Sharon, the scores of women, they do have an opportunity for their case to be heard if the evidence amounts to a case where the DA can move forward, because that's what happened with Bruce Castor. The reason why he didn't originally criminally prosecute is because he didn't have the evidence. He thought that Andrea had waited too long. He was concerned about whether or not this would even happen if he could actually make a criminal charge stick and have a jury on his side. So if a good case comes, it could potentially happen and open up the door. But we haven't heard of that. Maybe it's in the works, but it didn't happen here. Okay, and who knows if it's going to happen next time. There also, we have this clock ticking. If you recall, Andrea Constant, she got in right before the statute of limitations was up in terms of bringing these charges. That's going to be another issue too. You have to have the right case, the right evidence, and the statute of limitations has to play in your favor. We have to see if all those line up for any of those women to see if they even stand a chance for their day in court.
Well, maybe some of these laws will change when it comes to statute of limitation, especially when it comes to rape cases. Anyway, that's another thing. But right now, Bill Cosby is free. Another big story we're following, though, because we talked about it, indictments are expected today against the Trump Organization and a longtime executive, according to the Washington Post. So these indictments were reportedly tied to charges of tax evasion. What are New York prosecutors alleging here, Candace?
Well, listen, they're saying that Donald Trump, they're saying that Alan Weisselberg, his company, Donald Trump's company, that they were involved in this scheme in order to evade taxes by giving gifts, by giving perks, by giving school, by giving money in different ways so that we have this track record or this history hidden so that taxes won't have to be paid. So when it comes to that, this is what we're going to see Alan Weisselberg come to court and actually, make an appearance, turn himself in. This is what we're expecting today at around 2 o'clock. Now, this is something that's been ongoing for a couple of years. You've had the AG, Letitia James. You've also had the Manhattan District Attorney's Office working on this. Listen, Weisselberg has not cooperated. So now the question becomes, is he going to cooperate? Is he going to do a Michael Cohen? And also the charges. We actually don't know what the details are. How much money are we talking about? Because the more money, the more the sentencing, the more somebody is in trouble. So when these details come out, we are going to be looking at, well, what exactly are they being charged with? Is it $100,000? Is it millions of dollars? We don't know, and that's going to change the course of everything in terms of what sentencing might be at stake and how much of a life Alan Weisselberg is going to have after this.
What about the jeopardy for the former president? Because, I mean, you know, Candace, it's clear who they really want in this. He's argued this is all politically motivated. Is that a legal argument? I mean, tell us about the exposure to President Trump, former President Trump, but also, can he argue that this is a political witch hunt? Because that's his favorite word.
Yeah, he loves those words, but we have to look at the evidence, look at the paper trail. Alan Weisselberg has been in his corner for 50 years, so he can talk all of the political, issues and motivations that he wants. But let's look at what's on that paper. What are these charging documents going to say today? What does the indictment say today? The other thing is Alan Weisselberg. Think about Michael Cohen. He might turn. When more is at stake, then you might turn. Michael Cohen said, listen, I would give up my life with this man until he was charged and was looking at 10 years. And then he sang like a fresh newborn canary, right? So in this situation, Alan Weisselberg, if there are threats made upon his family, if there are threats made upon his freedom in terms of you might go to jail for 10 to 15, that's going to change the tide. And he hasn't been cooperating so far. But when you are charged, that absolutely changes things. We saw that happen to Michael Cohen. So to answer your question, Sharon, yes, there might be some political stuff going behind the scenes, but we're going to look at what's on that paper. There's the evidence. Donald Trump, you might be next. The verdict is out on that one.
All right, let's see if Weisselberg snitches, because hard time will test that loyalty, won't it, Candace?
Yes, oh, yes, they will. Especially when you threaten, here's my daughter or my wife or someone else involved. You get a family involved, you start changing. That's what happened to Michael Cohen.
I'm going to jail, or you going to jail? You going to jail. That's my line. Candace, appreciate it. Thanks so much. We'll see what happens there. You'll be following these stories all morning long, and of course, you'll be bringing us updates as they come along during the day. Appreciate you, Candace.